One, it would reduce Medicaid. It would reduce Medicaid Advantage, which is a very, very successful program that actually does bring about some form of a free market solution. And second, it would have the really odd effect of moving children who presently have private insurance to becoming wards of the state, basically having to move in the direction of, and I know the Democrats get all upset when you say this, but they're taking us towards socialized medicine. If we want the kind of results they have in England or France or Canada or Cuba, like Michael Moore wants us to do, then we should go in that direction. But that would be a terrible thing to do. What we should do is increase the number of people who have private insurance. In order to do that, we should give them a major tax deduction, $15,000. Let them have a health savings account as part of that. They'll have an incentive to own their own health insurance. That's the thing that's wrong with the market here. It's not really good to move this thing in terms of more government control
but just,
healthcare.
Okay, for the record, everyone against the expansion as Grassley outlined. Go ahead.
Congressman Hunter.
Yeah, let's get back to freedom. One thing you can't do right now, if you're an American who has a health insurance plan, is you can't buy health insurance across state lines. Now we've seen studies that have shown that the same coverage that costs $750 a month in Massachusetts, you can buy in Missouri for $170 a month. But you can't buy your health insurance across state lines like Americans buy lots of stuff across state lines. And George, you know, I had a senior citizen come in my office one day. She had a $10 wrist brace on, and she said I was told not to complain about this because government is paying for it. She gave me the bill. It was $525. That you're going to see a lot of $525 wrist braces if we continue to pass this S-chip, which really is the first extension of socialized medicine. This is socialized medicine. It's going to go to families that make $60,000 a year. Those aren't poor children.
Senator Brownback, the bill would raise the tobacco tax, as you know. How do we pay for health care in this country without raising some additional revenues?
Well, that's why I voted against the bill. But it wasn't just that. The piece of it that I think you have to recognize is that you've got a fundamental decision to make here. On health care, which is 16% of the economy, going north fast, probably headed to 20% of our total economy, do you think the solution of providing more and better health care is one that we should have more government solutions involved, or should it be more market-based solutions involved? And I think clearly the answer here is you need more market forces in health care. That's what we need to do, and instead, you've got the Democrats doing a step-by-step march towards a socialized one government pay system, and they're very happy to do it that way. But we can get better health care going this way, and we can hold the price of it down and not bust the federal treasury.
Well, we didn't get a debate among all of you, but maybe we'll get one with Senator Grassley later after the debate.
Maybe he won't endorse anybody after
this. That's right.
But George,
I want to move on to something. Excuse me, Governor Thompson. I want to move on now to something that Governor Romney brought up just a little while ago, and that was the comments earlier this week of Senator Obama, where he talked about going into Pakistan even if President Musharraf didn't agree. Here's what he said.
It was a terrible mistake to fail to act when we had a chance to take out an al-Qaeda leadership meeting in 2005. If we have actionable intelligence about high-value terrorist targets and President Musharraf will not act, we will.
Governor Romney, you said you didn't agree with Obama's plan. You called it ill-timed and ill-considered. Mayor Giuliani on Charlie Rose the other night, you said, I would take that option. Why don't you guys take 2 minutes and debate this issue out?
Well, I believe that that is an option that should remain open. I think the senator didn't express it the right way. I think the senator, if he could say it over again, might want to say that we would encourage Musharraf to allow us to do it if we thought he couldn't accomplish it. But the reality is America.
But if he said no, you go in.
I didn't say I would go in. I said I wouldn't take the option off the table.
No, well, you actually said I would take that option.
I said I would keep that option open.
No, you said if we have a chance to catch bin Laden, we've got to do it ourselves because we're not sure if somebody's going to do it correctly. Yeah, I think I would take that option.
Well, I would take that option if I thought there was no other way to crush al-Qaeda, no other way to crush the Taliban, and no other way to be able to capture bin Laden. I think Pakistan has, unfortunately, not been making the efforts that they should be making. I think we should encourage them to do it. We should put the pressure on them to do it. And we should seek their permission if we ever had to take action there. As we were able to get their permission, Undersecretary or Deputy Secretary Armitage was very effective in getting Musharraf's permission for us to act in Afghanistan and Pakistan in 2001 and 2002.
Governor Romney?
Yeah, I think Barack Obama is confused as to who are our friends and who are our enemies. In his first year, he wants to meet with Castro and Chavez and Assad, Ahmadinejad. Those are our enemies. Those are the world's worst tyrants. And then he says he wants to unilaterally go in and potentially bomb a nation which is our friend. We're trying to strengthen Musharraf. We're trying to strengthen the foundations of democracy and freedom in that country so that they will be able to reject the extreme.
But if your CIA director called you and said, we have Osama bin Laden in our sights, Musharraf says no, what do you do?
It's wrong for a person running for the President of the United States to get on TV and say, we're going to go into your country unilaterally. Of course, America always maintains our option to do whatever we think is in the best interest of America. But we don't go out and say, ladies and gentlemen of Germany, if ever there was a problem in your country, we didn't think you were doing the right thing, we reserve the right to come in and get them out. We don't say those things. We keep our options quiet. We do not go out and say to a nation which is working with us, where we've collaborated and they are our friend and we're trying to support Musharraf and strengthen him and his nation, that instead that we intend to go in there and potentially bring out a unilateral attack. Recognize, to win the war on jihad, we have to not only have a strong military of our own, and we need a stronger military, we also need to have strong friends around the world and help moderate Muslims reject the extreme, because ultimately the only people who can finally defeat these radical Islamic jihadists are the Muslims.
So what I'm hearing is that from both of you is